All right, let's update our viewers on another controversial subject, legislation about guns, both guns on campus and open carry legislation. Where is all of that right now?
The legislative committees were in town last week, and it was guns galore. There were gun issues all over the place.
You didn't see any guns in the legislature.
Well, I wasn't. I don't know. But there's a couple things that are probably have drawn the most attention. One is a bill that would allow people with concealed weapons licenses to carry guns on college and university campuses. That bill's made it through all of its House committees already. The regular session doesn't start till January 12th, but it's ready to go to the House floor. It has pretty much been along party lines, Republicans supporting that and Democrats opposed. The question on that issue is in the Senate. It has passed a couple committees in the Senate, but it's got to get through the Senate Judiciary Committee, which is where it died last year. So everybody's watching that. I think everybody thinks that if it goes to the House floor, goes up for a vote, it'll probably pass the House. Questions in the Senate on that issue. Another issue that's drawing a lot of attention has been to allow people with concealed weapons licenses to openly carry guns. That also has been moving in both chambers. Again, I think probably the key is to watch the Senate on that. But both of them are really controversial issues. And then this past week there was a kind of a flare-up, if you will, on a bill in the House that died in a House committee
on a tie vote.
On a tie vote. That deals with the Stand Your Ground law, which has been controversial for really a decade now. A couple Republicans didn't go the NRA's way on that issue.
Let's walk people through what that legislation was, because the legislation has been a priority of the NRA, and it had to do with placing the burden of proof in stand your ground cases on prosecutors rather than on defendants. Give us an anecdote to show what that's all about.
Well, this at least in part, this results from a Florida Supreme Court decision earlier this year. And in stand your ground cases, there's a preliminary hearing in which if someone is claiming stand your ground as their defense, they have to be able to show in this hearing that they are entitled to using that defense. There was a case out of the Orlando area that the Supreme Court decided. It was a traffic dispute. And there was a family down from Indiana, tourists. They got in a traffic dispute with a guy in a truck. And there was one of the occupants of the vehicle was a father. He showed a gun to the guy in the truck, and the guy in the truck sort of backed away. The son in the back seat of the family vehicle also apparently was threatening the other guy in traffic. The prosecutors charged the son with a crime for threatening the other guy in the traffic dispute. Under the Supreme Court decision, the son had the burden of showing that he was entitled to the stand your ground defense, not the prosecutors, not the guy in the truck. So I know this is a little complicated, but the bill would have shifted that burden. Instead of the son in the back seat being shown that he needs to prove that he should be entitled to defense, it would place the burden on the prosecutors. The NRA wanted this bill, and it would really strengthen broaden this stand your ground law. It came up in the House Criminal Justice subcommittee last week and failed in a 6-6 vote, including the chairman of that committee opposed it. And essentially, at least in part, the prosecutors opposed it. So it was a very unusual, unexpected vote, I think, and the NRA was not happy. It's mailed out to its members to, said that the Republicans who voted against it betrayed the NRA. So the bill's also still moving in the Senate, so who knows what's going to happen.
What you're saying is it might not be dead, even though it
Well,
died in a committee. so
it's
to speak.
November and the session doesn't start till January, so I don't think it's dead.
Thank you, Jim. For more news about Florida politics and government, visit the Advances section of our website.